Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Saturday Night Review Series for the 29th of May, 2000. 2000? Nope, not quite. 1993. This is the week after Slamboree 93. Shortened show, 41-minute runtime. Lots of stuff coming out of that. An alliance between Davey Boy Smith and Sting has been enhanced greatly and kind of becoming a focal point over the next little while. Davey Boy Smith does not defeat Vader at the pay-per-view for the championship, although I believe he did win by countout or something like that. But needless to say, that doesn't go according to plan. What does kind of become interesting is that the returning Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to Breathing Fire that he had done in WWF, but I don't think he'd done anything more than maybe once in 1991 here. Paul Orndorff wearing a larger leg wrap in enhancement match here. Still your television champion, at least to my knowledge. I don't think he's been defeated yet. I think it's Steamboat that defeats him eventually. But Orndorff goes for very aggressive stuff. Punches, kicks, chokes, and eventually the pile driver. 3 minutes is all it takes, and Orndorff is in quick control and in quick victory here. They review the history between Rick Rude and Dustin Rhodes going into the upcoming, I believe, Beach Blast pay-per-view. The idea there is they will crown a U.S. champion between those two. They recap the confrontation previous weeks between Flair and Anderson and the Hollywood Blondes. Hollywood Blondes still your tag team champions. They have an enhancement talent match with Pez Whatley and another enhancement talent out next. Austin does a heck of a sell job, and Pez Whatley even makes fun of him for it. Austin this time wearing red tights with a star on his backside. And they're still kind of doing the Brush with Greatness tour thing. Austin and Pillman still probably the best tag team of the early 90s, one would imagine. Anyway, drop toe hold there, and after a tag into Pillman, Whatley continues to roll over and float over into pretty easy dominance over the next shot there, and crossbody, 2 count. And ultimately, the other enhancement talent, whose name I did not catch, does take a couple of shots at Austin for a couple of minutes, but a rocket launcher, Steve Austin, from the top rope gets launched across the ring and gets a victory for the tag team champions. Champions, obviously, Austin and Pillman, at a high ranking at that particular time in their own personal journey, and certainly, without a doubt there, continues to be a pretty big deal. They show highlights of the Slamboree pay-per-view. We were reminded that this is last Sunday. Sid is obviously debuts and destroys Van Hammer. The Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is out next when we come back to regular Saturday night action. Steamboat breathing fire this time, and that is a major deal for this point of things. Don't know why you would breathe fire before an enhancement talent match, but Steamboat does that alongside skinning the cat, and the enhancement talent takes a interesting looking attempt at a sunset flip. Steamboat goes up and over and almost loses himself and gets hurt, but doesn't. Deep arm drag by Steamboat, and again, some martial arts maneuvers, basic Steamboat stuff, ends up winning with the crossbody. Steamboat has mentioned previously, and does mention again post-match here, that although he is a tag team guy, he still does have designs on being a world champion and a singles champion. He's tired of dealing with the Hollywood Blondes, tired of dealing with the fact that he and Shane Douglas aren't taken as seriously as they want him to. Flair comes out and has a sit-down with Sting. Basically endorses Sting as a big deal here. And, they kind of debate over who's the bigger, better champion. Flair tells Sting not to mock himself. The return of the Horseman is here. Anderson talks about the symbol of excellence and the return of that being a big deal. Then we see the main event of the program, because it is a shortened program. This time, Vinny Vegas and Big Sky facing off against, now get this, the British Bulldog and Sting. Not a match worth writing home about by any stretch of the imagination. Still don't know all that much about Big Sky. Vinny Vegas, of course, becomes Diesel in a matter of months. Big Sky takes the early part of the match and uses a big leg and punches and kicks on Sting. Sting takes him down and gets an arm wringer, arm bar, and top wrist lock, which is just goofy when you're dealing with a guy that big, but that was wrestling in 1993. Anyway, Sting with a drop toe hold on the Big Sky big man, and it's amazing because even here, where Diesel has more experience than his adversary, Big Sky takes the majority of the match. Momentarily, Davey Boy Smith comes in, doesn't do a heck of a lot though. Arm ringers, arm bars, and the like. Then we see Diesel continue to be a guy who is, or at this point, Vinny Vegas continued to be a guy who's pretty dominant, hits a big boot after several punches and illegal tactics to Sting. Sits out with a reverse chin lock. Nothing to write home about, but solid psychology at the time. Meanwhile, Big Sky comes back in, double teams on Sting for a little bit, do the heels. Sting tries everything he can to get to the corner and the old cutoff spot. Davey Boy Smith can't get into the ring legally because, well, he hasn't been tagged. Finally, there is a tag, and Davey Boy hits a clothesline, followed by a flying shoulder block on good old Davey Boy Smith hits it on Vinny Vegas. Then there's a miscommunication between the heels after all four guys are in the ring. Vegas takes the power slam from Davey Boy Smith, and the babyfaces get the victory. Challenged by Harley Race to the Colossal Kongs, and also actually Kongs aren't there yet. Challenge is made that there is an alliance between Harley Race and Colonel Parker, meaning Vader and Sid. Says that they can retire them. And Sting and Davey Boy Smith say they're not ready to quit, not ready to retire. They're just getting started. And we close the program on that note. We will be back with more right after this.